You are standing in your yard on a July afternoon, looking down at brown patches. The grass pulls up like carpet. No roots, just brown soil underneath. Your lawn was green 6 weeks ago. Now it looks diseased. But it is not diseased. Something is eating it from below. White grubs. Dozens of them. Maybe hundreds. I am Haruto Sato. I have spent 20 years studying these larvae in the field. My work began in soil labs, moved to farms, then to lawns like yours. Today, I will show you the mix I use to kill them in 24 hours. The method is simple. 3 ingredients, 1 application at dusk. Here is what happens when you do this right. Grubs liquefy. Their outer layer breaks down. They cannot hold water. They die overnight. The soap is the key. Dish soap, the kind you wash plates with. It disrupts the waxy coat that protects a grub's soft body from the air. Bourbon adds toxicity. The alcohol penetrates deeper into the larva's system. Water carries both into the soil, where the grubs are feeding. I mix 1 part bourbon to 2 parts water and add a tablespoon of soap. Stir it until the soap dissolves completely. You will see it foam slightly. The pale foam tells you the surfactant is active and ready. Now, here is where timing matters, and this is the part most people skip. You apply this at dusk, never at midday or in full sun. Cool soil holds moisture longer. Grubs rise closer to the surface at night. The mixture soaks in and meets them where they are weakest. By dawn, the damage is irreversible. By tomorrow afternoon, they are gone. But I have to be honest with you about one thing. This only works if you spray during the right window in the year. Apply this in July, and it wastes. Apply it in October, and it wastes. There is a 6-week period, late August through September, when grubs are vulnerable. Miss that window, and you will pour this mixture into soil where nothing feeds. Now you know the spray, but timing is everything, and most people waste it completely. You are standing in your yard in mid-October, spraying that mixture onto your lawn. Nothing happens. The grubs are gone. You just wasted your bourbon. Here is why. Grubs are not in your soil year-round at the same depth. Late August through September, they live in the top 2 or 3 inches. They are small then. Second instar larvae, maybe 1/4 inch to 3/4 inch long. Recently hatched, hungry, feeding aggressively on your grass roots to build winter reserves. This is the window. The only window that matters for any surface treatment. After September, soil temperature drops below 60 degrees Fahrenheit, and the grub instinct fires. They burrow 6 inches down, 8 inches down, into the warm soil where they overwinter. Once they are buried that deep, your spray cannot reach them. Not this year. I have measured it myself. By November, a grub in my monitoring plots is unreachable. The soil temperature is the trigger, not the calendar. The grub reads the cold and goes. This is why timing kills a first-time user. You assume grubs stay put all season. They do not. The window is real. It closes hard. And here is where it gets interesting. You can actually see the window opening. Skunks show up, raccoons, crows digging craters in your lawn at dusk and dawn. They are hunting near-surface grubs. The wildlife is your calendar. Trust that signal. When the digging stops, the grubs have moved down, and your spray will not follow. I have watched landowners miss this window by 3 weeks and lose an entire season. 3 weeks. That is how narrow it gets when you do not pay attention. The second instar larvae have a thin cuticle, permeable, almost fragile against the soap mixture. A third instar grub, hardened and thick-skinned, laughs at that same spray. So late August through September is not just a suggestion, it is the only door. Dusk application only works if the grub is still in the top inches of soil. Miss the window, and you are spraying an empty lawn. But there is one move before you spray that changes everything about whether this works. That move happens 24 hours before you ever touch that spray bottle. Now you have your window, late August through September. But timing the spray itself is only half the puzzle. The grubs you need to kill are buried 1 to 3 inches down, safe in dry soil, out of reach. Here is what I do the day before I spray. I water the lawn deeply, and I do not skip this step. You are standing on your grass in the late afternoon, hose in hand, and you are going to soak it. The water needs to penetrate at least 2 to 3 inches into the soil. That is ½ inch to 1 inch of water total. On clay soil, I water in the evening and let it sit overnight. Sandy ground drinks faster, so I adjust the timing. What you are doing is drawing the grubs upward, toward the roots where they feed, toward the surface where my soap will reach them. Grubs follow moisture. They are thirsty creatures living in the soil, and they move toward water like roots do. In dry ground, they burrow down 4, 5, even 6 inches to escape the drought, past any spray I could ever apply. But in moist soil, they stay high, right where the roots are actively growing, right in the kill zone. I check the soil 24 hours later by pressing my thumb into it near the base of the grass. The top inch should feel damp like a wrung-out sponge. Not soggy, not muddy, spongy. Short grass helps. Mow to 1½ to 2 inches before you water. It cuts through the thatch and lets the water reach the soil faster. The thatch layer itself is a barrier, and wet thatch lets my spray penetrate through it, rather than beating up and running off. Now, here is where I have to be honest with you. I have overwatered and washed the mixture clean away the next day. A waterlogged lawn will dilute the spray to nothing. The window is tight, moist, not drowned. By dawn of treatment day, your soil is primed. Your grubs are drawn up into the feeding zone, and you are ready. But that moist ground is only useful if what you spray on it is actually lethal. Tomorrow, I show you how to test whether your mix will kill before you commit the whole lawn to it. With the soil prepped and the mixture applied at dusk, you now enter the moment that proves everything. 24 hours have passed since you sprayed that small test section, 1 square foot marked with stakes. Now comes the part I promised you at the start, the one that separates a guess from a fact. You are going to excavate that marked square, spade down 3 to 4 inches, and fold back the sod. Look at the soil face. Count every grub you see, alive or dead, in that exact footprint. Dead grubs are brown or tan, limp, desiccated, not the pearlescent white curl you saw before spraying. If 9 out of 10 are brown, your ratio is lethal. Your mix works at your concentration. Here is the honest part. Some grubs will still be moving below 3 inches in cooler soil. That is normal. You caught the ones feeding in the kill zone where the soap reached them. Now wait 7 more days. Mark the same square. Excavate it again and count. If new grubs have crawled in from the untreated lawn around it, that tells you something vital. It means grubs migrate laterally when food disappears. They seek the edge where the lawn still feeds them. That is not a failure of your mixture. That is the grub's survival behavior, and it matters. If the second count is the same as the first, no migration happened. The lawn in that zone is clear. Now you know. Scale up to the full lawn, or scale back and spot treat only the worst patches. You have just walked through every piece that matters: the window, the water, the ratio, the proof. You have become the tester, not the guesser. You own the result. Tell me in the comments, when you excavated, what did you see? I read every single one. Send me a photo if you dug and found them. I want to see your lawn come back.